And we are live once again for another edition of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. Live once again as well here tonight. Racing at my home track on the Career Mode for the Firekeepers Casino 400 at the Michigan International Speedway. Two ginormous wins already on the young career for Keegan Schneider in his first 14 completed races. Now, yes, he's got 3 DNFs this season, but he could say he is a Daytona 500 champion and a Coca-Cola 600 champion. Each of those wins again in his rookie season. Trying to win the championship as a rookie could be the first driver to ever do that in the modern era of NASCAR. So trying to make history throughout the course of the season as well. Already a two-time stage winner, trying to get as many playoff points as possible. Not looking like we have a very fast car going into this race here tonight. Didn't expect it though either. Qualified dead last, and we have nobody starting at the rear of the field today due to inspection failures and such. So it looks like we're going to be starting dead last, and we're probably going to be running there for the beginning of the race. But we're going to try to strategize. This is a very good racetrack to try and throw strategy right at the game plan. It worked for us in the Coke 600, obviously, with that longer race. This is only a 400-mile race and 200 laps around a very fast racetrack. This race is going to fly by here tonight, but we'll do our best. It's a 2-mile track though, so it might help us stay on the lead lap a little bit longer. The downside of it, with only having 85 on the engine power, means we're going to be really slow down these long straightaways. And it's not like Fontana was with that 2-mile tri-oval as well, because that was a much bumpier racetrack. So the tires were wearing out a lot more in the AI than what we were able to do. And you're not really going to see any tire fall off from anybody here today. We've seen fuel mileage races in the past here as well. We'll just have to wait and see what's to come. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'm excited to get into this one. Hopefully you guys are too. Billy Kramer, Inside Uranus. Kyle Larson fan. Garrett YT 2936. And Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. Kyle Busch on the pole here tonight, coming off his first win of the season last night at the Kansas Speedway. Austin Dillon and Clint Boyer might look a little slow here for this race today. Patrick Chatterley, welcome as well. Yes, thanks for stopping by, hitting that like button, Patrick. Hopefully we'll see you before the end of the race here tonight. Green flag is in the air. Kyle Busch will lead the field to the green for our first of 2 races at Michigan in the regular season. Stages will be split 60, 60, and 80 here tonight. Schneider's going to try to draft as much as he possibly can, but not having that engine power again is going to hurt him. Thoughts on Atlanta 2022? I have no clue yet. I saw headlines of it, and that's all I was able to see because I was at work today. So I have not read into anything yet. So I can't give my thoughts or opinions on it because I literally have pretty much zero clue what they're thinking about doing to Atlanta. Hit 100 subs. Congratulations. Denny Hamlin to the race lead after Kyle Busch did lead lap 1. Schneider is able to go full throttle right here around Michigan, and that's what he was able to do in qualifying as well with this very setup. So it's not like he can really do a whole lot else in trying to catch these guys. He's just going to have to suffer for the short runs. Brad Keselowski trying to win at his home track for the first time in his NASCAR career, winless here at the Michigan International Speedway. We already mentioned Schneider's got 2 huge wins this season, the Daytona 500, the Coca-Cola 600. Probably his 3rd biggest race of the season right here, right now at his home track. He'll get another attempt a little bit later in the regular season. Maybe the equipment will be a lot better for that race than what he's got today. An 85 overall race car for Max, but we do not have Max departments for this race in particular due to running the same chassis 2 races in a row. We really damaged the car badly at Kansas last night. So we have an 82 on the engine, an 83 on the aero, or sorry, 82 on the let me think here. 82 on the engine, aero's at an 82, and then we've got 83 on the suspension, if I remember correctly. Because we did beat that race car up pretty badly at Kansas. Got into the back of Chad Fincham when there was a stack up down the back straightaway. Gave us 8 seconds of damage. And we were running in the top dozen of the field when that happened, too. And unfortunately, we fell back to 22nd by the end of the race. Is where we ended up finishing. Not ideal at all. About to mute that message board if I don't care if you guys follow me on PlayStation and stuff. You know, I really don't mind. I gotta start turning the notifications off though. So I get a lot of messages and stuff like that from you guys while I'm streaming most of the time too. Because that's like the only time I'm really on my PS4 9 times out of 10 is when I'm streaming, so. Schneider's already half a lap behind the race leader. This is a very, very slow race car. Good night. Yeah, we kind of wondered if Atlanta was going to get a repave anytime soon as well. I mean, really over the last 5 to 10 years, we've been kind of talking about when the repave is coming, and I guess it's going to be happening after this weekend. But I have no clue what the configuration is supposed to be or how big the length is supposed to be. I have zero clue. Sorry if there's a lag. Should be good now. Just give it a couple seconds, it'll be fine. I don't know why it's lagging right now. And thank you for all 11 of you guys watching currently. We're suffering early on with speed, but we should have a lot better long run speed as the car starts to loosen up. It's just going to take a lot longer than what we saw at Fontana, and that is the issue with this being repaved within the last decade versus California, over 2 decades of wear on that racetrack. Only have 1 use of William Byron remaining. Wow, that's... I mean, he's been good this season. I don't blame you there. I think I got like 3 or 4 usages out of him left. Thanks for that comment. It's just trying to figure out the algorithm game. I've been trying to figure it out since I started the channel, really. And then I do my own thing, too. I try not to really factor too much of it in, but I know when the next NASCAR game comes out, we're probably going to get another bigger influx of new viewers coming in, kind of like we did with NASCAR Heat 5. But I'm going to try to capitalize on it this time, where before I didn't really know what I was doing. Caution is out at lap number 11 here tonight, our first caution of the race. We saw our first caution at Kansas last night at an interesting spot as well on lap 10 in that 400-mile race. Some drivers pitting, some drivers staying out here. Schneider's going to pit for right side tires only. He's going to top off on fuel while he's at it. Joey Gase is now out of the race, by the way. He brought out that first caution of the day. Tough break for the 51 Rick Ware Racing team, but the green flag is back in the air. Schneider wins the race off pit road, but he only took 2 tires versus everybody else taking 4. He wanted to help loosen that car up a little bit more. So no adjustments, just taking 2 right side tires. That will help. Most importantly, though, topping off on fuel. Still going to be a couple laps short on fuel to the end of the stage, but if it does go green, this could benefit all 4 of these drivers that pitted there. Oh, 3 wide, and Ross Chastain, not even 3 wide. He just got into the left rear of Schneider, shoving him way up the racetrack. Out of the groove goes the 99. Thought they were 3 wide with how tight Chastain was running on the 99 of Schneider as he got into his left rear. I think he was just trying to side draft him, and he just ran right into him. There was nobody down low. Schneider did not appreciate that. Where's your Cindric merch? I don't have any Austin Cindric merch. Why would I get Austin Cindric merch when I'm a Ryan Blaney fan? I mean, I get they're both Team Penske, but... Schneider's caught the back of this pack now. 3 wide himself down into the tri-oval. Makes a move underneath Fincham and Hill. All these guys on fresher tires right now. Schneider got to be careful on that apron. It does not hook like Fontana. Still 3 wide in the middle of the corner. Fincham got a huge run. Timmy Hill going to follow him now. They stack up down the back straightaway a tiny bit. Schneider's going to try to beat Hill down to the inside of the racetrack. Fincham goes all the way up high near the wall. Schneider had to lift now in line behind Corey LaJoie, who is on the inside in front of him. Trying to draft back to the inside of LaJoie. Eric Almirola, meanwhile, is going to take the race lead. And now push from Corey LaJoie down the back straightaway. This is going to help Schneider get to the inside of Bobby Carter for position. And Joey Logano now to the race lead. So a lot of Fords battling up at the front of the field. This is a home race for both Chevrolet and Ford as well. Based out of Detroit, Michigan, just about 45 minutes away from the racetrack. Schneider just gets to the outside of LaJoie. Going to try to side draft him a little bit more now down the back straightaway. Just doesn't have that straightaway speed. And he did take right sides only. Going to clear LaJoy now off of turn 4, trying to block him now down through the tri-oval, and LaJoy's just going to bump draft him. He's all over the back of the 99. He might just send him off into turn 1. Shredder had to lift just a tiny bit there because he was carrying a little bit more speed than usual. Will I live in Ohio forever? I don't plan on it because I hope to one day get a job within the sport of NASCAR. So hopefully I'll move down into the Charlotte area at some point in my life. But for the immediate future, I do plan on staying in Ohio. The sooner I can get that job, the sooner I can get out of here. But no, I fell in love with Charlotte too. I mean, even if I don't want to say that because I still have the aspiration. I'm still going to fight for, getting a commentating job or some, at the very least, some sort of a job, with NASCAR down the line that even if I didn't for some reason, I could still see myself moving to Charlotte. Because, even like staying as a fan, and I'm still going to be going to races my whole life, whether I'm in the broadcast booth or not, and it's more feasible living in Charlotte. I mean, you have like 4 or 5 tracks within 4 hours. Charlotte, obviously, Charlotte Roval now too. Darlington, Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond, all within 4 hours. I think Talladega is only like 5 or 6 hours too. A lot closer to Daytona. I'd probably be going there every year, 7, 8 hours instead of 15 like it is now. I mean, Ohio's not as bad as people say either, but people that live here at least. It would be nice to get out of the winters though, too, with moving down south. Not getting as much snow. Oh, Schneider overran 1 and 2. He slipped up. I don't think he really overran the corner considering he can go full throttle. He got into the side of Cole Custer there, and Stenhouse is going to pick him up in the draft down the back straightaway and give him a launch. But he was in line on the bottom lane, right behind Michael McDowell in the 34. And now he clips the apron, slides, clips the grass, still slides, and around he goes. Back into the gas. We stay green. Corrected it. Great save by the 99. Just carried a little bit too much speed into the corner when Stenhouse had pushed him, and clipping the apron on top of it, he went around that time. Backed it way down, and all that track position is lost. Yeah, I've been to Talladega a couple times already. I was there this spring, and I was there in the fall last season, too. I plan on going back again next year. I don't know if it's going to be in the spring or the fall yet. It just depends. I'd like to go in the spring, but I do want to go to Dirt Bristol as well, and if they happen to run back-to-back next year. They didn't this year, but if they were about a month apart from each other. But if they do end up running back-to-back. You live in a city that are mainly Browns. Most people are Browns fans that live around me. There's not too many Bengals fans because I'm like 3 hours north of Cincinnati. I'm surprised there's not as many Lions fans around here considering I am a little bit closer to Detroit than what I am Cleveland. I think it's just the whole state thing. Being in the state of Ohio is probably why there's more Cleveland fans. It's like that with all sports, though, too. I'm surprised I feel like it's more divided with like baseball, basketball, and everything. But for whatever reason, football, it seems like there's a lot more Browns fans than what there is Lions fans around here. I'm neither when it goes to football, at least. But yeah, I live pretty close to Toledo, Ohio. Not actually in it or in the suburbs of it to consider myself living in Toledo. I'm not that close. I'm like a half hour out. Very small town of like only 2,000. Where it's not densely populated. I wouldn't mind living in the city. I know my parents probably wouldn't. Probably why we have lived in small towns my whole life. Yeah, they'll probably end up just throwing restrictor plates back on the cars with the next gen car. I'd have to assume, Ethan. That's what I would assume they would do, at least initially, with the next gen car. And then when they get that new engine in a few more years following, then maybe they'll, have tapered spacers back again or something. I don't know, but I'd imagine they're just gonna throw a restrictor plate on. It was a great save though by Schneider too that he didn't loop it all the way around. No damage from clipping the grass a little bit with the left front as well. Are you a 49ers fan inside Uranus? Is that why? We always, anytime we play the 49ers or the Seahawks in the playoffs, we stink. I mean, we did beat the Seahawks in the playoffs last year, which was like the first time. Now we just got to get over the hump with the 49ers. It's like we could beat those teams in the regular season a lot, but we can, for whatever reason, not beat them in the playoffs. I can't believe how close we're getting to football season already. What, preseason starts in a month already? My goodness. I think my fantasy football draft's coming up in like a month and a half too. I just hope it's not the weekend I go to Indy because I might have to miss it this year. It's usually later in August. And if it's the week of Michigan, I know it's going to be a Friday or Saturday night anyway, so I'll be good because I'm only going to the Cup race Sunday anyway. Yeah, we won't be seeing. If you're talking about IndyCar at Indianapolis, no, we're not going to be seeing 230 plus miles an hour at Daytona or Talladega. NASCAR will not let that happen. Not with them in packs like that. That's just putting the fans at risk at that point. It's one thing, to have the drivers at risk and they're dangerous tracks already, but it's going to put the fans at more risk too. They're already at risk. Kyle Busch going to get to the lead. Will there be a KRC Fantasy Football League? I'd like to, but probably not because, I mean, we'd only have a chance for 10 or 12 teams, and I think we could get away with it maybe this year, but, if the channel just continues to grow, we're going to have, like, hundreds of people wanting in on it, and we only got one league, and I'm not doing multiple leagues. I'm not doing, like, 6, 7, 8 leagues. I just like playing into one also. If you get in more than one, then it's almost like you're rooting for every player every weekend. And you got players going up against other players and other teams, and it becomes a little bit too much. Kyle Busch is the race leader. Started on the pole here tonight, coming off that first win of the season as well. We are past halfway through stage 1. The pit window is anywhere between 43 to 47 laps here today. When we started this run, everybody that pitted during that last caution was about a lap short on fuel to the end of stage 1. Again, there were only 4 cars that pit. They were all at the back of the pack. Timmy Hill, Chad Fincham, Keegan Schneider. There's one other car, can't quite remember. Down to the apron again. Really loose, and another save. This time he didn't loop it all the way around. Now that these tires are getting older, especially on the left side of the race car, Stenhouse again picks him up in the draft through the tri-oval to help him out. Schneider's getting out of shape when he gets in line behind these cars, and he's got to keep it off that apron. He's not going to get that lucky going forward. Got lucky twice now. I think the third one's going to be strike 3. Backing up the corner a little bit to send it into the middle. Quinn Houff, Ryan Priest, couple passes made there. Also got around Cole Custer on corner entry. Here comes Ryan Priest with a shove down the back straightaway. That got the 99 loose. Still pushing him. Schneider still goes full throttle through 1 and 2, even with the shove. Yep, that is the next goal, is to upgrade the engine to a 90. Now that we've got all the departments evened at 85, including the pit crew, engine to a 90 is next. It'll help on these longer racetracks too. Still not going to be perfect by any means, but it'll help us out, especially with a Pocono doubleheader coming up soon and a trip to the 2.5-mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway, another trip back to Michigan for the playoffs. So we got a lot of longer racetracks, and that can definitely help us out compared to what we are seeing here tonight on speed. But the strategy, if this stays green to the end of stage 1, for those 4 cars that already pitted, they're going to be battling it out for the stage win. Schneider lost a lot of time when he got really loose there the first couple laps of the stage and had to make that save sliding off of turn 4. When will the leaders pit? But again, those guys that pitted also have to save a lap of gas. For the most part, Schneider has been going full throttle. He's trying to get the track position he needs first before he thinks about saving. And the leader's got a pretty big lead. I don't think Schneider's going to be that far ahead of race leader Kyle Busch when Busch comes into the pits as well. So they're going to have time to run him down on this longer racetrack. Timmy Hill 3 wide. Ross Chastain was the other driver that pit. My bad. Bubba Wallace sandwiched in the middle right now. Schneider's closing in on all 3 of them. He goes full throttle through 1 and 2, and he's going to squeeze up the middle. Clears Timmy Hill now to the outside, and Bubba Wallace barely keeps it off the wall. Timmy Hill barely kept it off the wall as well. Hill gets a draft off Schneider. He's going to shove him off into turn 3 and get him clear of the 43 of Wallace. And hooks that white line down on the bottom perfectly to get inside Suarez off turn 4. Side drafts him up the racetrack. We'll try to clear him through the tri-oval. Taking that shortcut. Suarez still there. He's got the straightaway speed. Schneider's got the cornering. I don't drink alcohol, so I won't be drinking. Even though we'll be in wine country, I still won't be drinking. It's not my thing. Yes, I'm a NASCAR fan. I don't drink beer or any alcohol. Especially when it's hot outside in these summer races. Gotta stay hydrated, gotta drink water. Two of the last 3 racetracks I've gone to this weekend at Road America and Nashville were like in the mid 90s with heat indexes over 100. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. How much longer can the leaders go on fuel? Schneider is the leader of all the 4 drivers that hit pit road during that first and only caution at lap 11. 18 laps to go now in stage 1 for race leader Kyle Busch. And even if this strategy doesn't win the stage for Schneider, if he can make it and save 1 lap of fuel from the start of this fuel run, maybe he can get some sort of stage points. Again, he's trying to claw his way back inside the top 10 to at least get some playoff points there by the end of the regular season. After tonight, we only have 11 more races until the playoffs start. Which realistically is only a couple more weeks away. Undersea truck. You sue me if I spike your drink. I'm not. Well, I don't drink alcohol, so I think I would. Spike my water. Like vodka or something. They're trying to side draft Elliott through the tri-oval. Austin Dillon, instead of going with Elliott, is going to go with Schneider on the outside. Going to give him a huge shot into turn 1. And he holds on to it, too. Never lifted. Clears Elliott off of turn 2. Trying to break the draft down to the bottom now. Make sure Elliott doesn't get a run back to him. Yeah, July's the hottest month pretty much anywhere in the U.S. Late June into early August, really. I mean, even like where I live, it pretty much stays hot till about Labor Day. Or it like starts to cool off into the fall. And even when it cools off, it's like 67 degrees. Like it's nice outside. It's about like early to mid-October, and then it starts to get below 60 kind of consistently. Except for the last like 3 or 4 years, I've noticed it seems like we have like later winters. Like it seems like our winter doesn't start till like almost mid-November now, or like our fall / winter, because we really don't have a fall. Pretty much goes from like 70 to 30, 40. Same thing with the springtime too. It's basically what it does. It's like 40, 50 degrees for a couple weeks, and then it just shoots right up to 70, 80. Kyle Busch on pit road as we speak. Denny Hamlin coming in as well. So we'll have to see after a 4-tire stop where Schneider is going to cycle to. And he is committed to trying to run this out to the finish. Finish of stage 1, that is. It's on the same left side tire since the start of the stage as well, taking those right sides only during the stage break. Kevin Harvick's the race leader. He still has to pit. So Schneider will cycle ahead of Kyle Busch. He already has, but Busch is only about 2.5 seconds behind him. So he'll close very quickly. Schneider might not even get a lap in, depending on when John Hunter Nemechek and Kevin Harvick come into the pits. Harvick is pitting right now. Nemechek is the next car ahead of Schneider. We'll see if he'll pit at the line. And Nemechek's on his way in. Where's Harvick's pit box, though? Right before the start-finish line. First lap led of the race for Schneider at the line. Kyle Busch to his back bumper. Schneider's going to try to hold on as long as he can. Brendan Gaughan coming out of the pit lane. Busch had to check up behind Gaughan. And Schneider had to lift as well up high. Gaughan gets up to speed. Enough. Schneider lost a lot of momentum there. And Kyle Busch to the race lead after Schneider was only able to lead for a lap. Kind of figured that with this being a 2-mile racetrack, it was going to be tough to be able to stay in front of Busch for a long period of time, but at least he could say he led one lap at his home track here today, under green, that is, as well. And here comes Joey Logano now trying to battle for second. He's just going to get to the back bumper of Schneider and send him into turn 1. Now he's going to push him all the way in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Oh, that's going to shoot Schneider into the wall. Just turns off of it, and Logano gets by for second place. He lifted quite a bit there, but that right rear was really hanging out off the exit of the corner. Keselowski, Hamlin coming in. For this to really work out at all, Schneider's going to have to finish in the top 10 to get some sort of stage points. And here comes Brad Keselowski now, and he's going to push Schneider going into turn 1. Hopefully he doesn't push him near the wall like his teammate did. Hope he just gets to the outside. Almost put it in the wall himself. And now here comes Denny Hamlin with a shot. Still pushing him in the middle of 3 and 4. Up the track he goes, and Hamlin just put Schneider in the wall. Almirola now with a shot. Both Logano and Hamlin get into Schneider. Got 10 laps to go in the stage. I don't think Schneider's going to be able to hang on inside the top 10 at all. Really hoping he's going to save enough fuel now. Chase Elliott not for position. Kurt Busch is. Crosses to the inside. He's going to get around him. Elliott trying to push Schneider, who is now falling back to 7th place. Is he only one of the 4 that 41.287. Little, welcome to the stream. I think China has something to do with the weather changing. Conspiracy theorist. Conspiracies are running wild. Fastest lap that time for Schneider, 40.874. Suarez with a push getting into the corner. Schneider's now back to 8th. Blaney's less than a second behind him. 10th place car is Martin Truex Jr. He's 5.5 seconds behind the 99. Yet Schneider got really loose off turn 2. Catches the car before making contact with Suarez. Had to lift a tiny bit to keep it off the 96. And now here comes the 12 of Blaney in with a shot. He's going to get pushed by Blaney pretty much all the way through the corner. And still continuing to push him through the tri-oval of 41.4 that last lap. Plus a lot of momentum off turn 2. Blaney with the push. He is staying connected to the back of Schneider. It's like tandem racing here at Michigan. This could be Schneider's fastest lap of the race this time. Blaney still can't get around him either. Schneider a little slideways off turn 4. Blaney straightens him out. 40.272. That was 0.6 of a second faster than his previous fastest lap. And they basically tandem their way back around Daniel Suarez in the 96. This is going to help Schneider save a little bit of fuel, too. Running very close to the end of the stage here. Pit road closes with 2 laps to go in the stage. And now Suarez to push Schneider after Blaney got around him. A little contact. Schneider tried to side draft, and the 96 push, and it was a little harder to do so. Car in the wall, hard. Chase Elliott has blown a right front tire. Blaney checks up, and Elliott now spinning after hitting the wall as well. A hard hit for Chase Elliott. And there is a caution on the racetrack. This is definitely going to allow Schneider to make it on fuel to the end of the stage. And a lot of guys trapped a lap down now as well. Tyler Reddick will get the free pass. Problem is, though, Schneider was in 9th and looking like he was going to, if he could have made it on fuel, finish inside the top 10. But now that everybody's going to be bunched back together, I don't know if you could say that's going to be the case. That is a major conspiracy theory on that Brian France, Steve Phelps situation. Loganophobia if you're afraid of clowns. Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch will lead the field to the green. Not the caution Busch wanted to see. And a green-white checker here. 1 lap to decide the stage 1 winner. Schneider trying to get a top 10 run, but he's on much older tires than everybody else. We'll check up there off turn 2. He's going to take it 3 wide. Matt Kenseth's going to give him a push down the back straightaway as well. It's going to help the 99. Look at the run he's going to get. Into turns 3 and 4. 4 wide now. And Brad Keselowski powers ahead of Kyle Busch. Still 4 wide. Schneider's loose. He's into Eric Jones. A big wreck through the tri-oval. Up in the air goes the 99 and back down on all 4. Caution is going to wave as they come to the line. Brad Keselowski will win stage 1. And Schneider finishes 11th. 4 wide and tight off of turn 4. And he got a little loose after that shot from Matt Kenseth. He was carrying just a little bit too much speed into 3 and 4. Going for what looked to be about 3rd or 4th place. And I think Jones turned right back across the traffic, and there was at least a half a dozen cars, if not more, involved. Wild finish with that green-white checker. Luckily, only 1 second of damage sliding through the grass there for Schneider. That could have been a lot worse. The rear tires came up off the ground. Almost had a blowover in the grass through the tri-oval. Here at Michigan, and he just lost out on stage points. He was going for about 3rd or 4th and ends up finishing 11th. Green flag back in the air here at Michigan. But Brad Keselowski gets the stage win. And here we are for another restart, about 4 wide down the back straightaway already. Everybody seemed like they topped off on fuel during the stage break as well. It was our 3rd caution for incident in this race. Schneider side drafts Denny Hamlin, trying to pull him back. Now he's going to get a push from Tyler Reddick. Bell up on the outside. It's a 3x3. Reddick moves high now. His teammate Austin Dillon now to push Schneider. This is going to get tight into turn 1, and Schneider's carrying a lot of speed with Austin Dillon pushing him. Kyle Busch has found his way back to the race lead. Up the middle again. Nope, that lane kind of closed off. Look at Custer get to the inside of Austin Dillon now. Custer pushing Schneider. Schneider just steers it off of Austin Dillon. Trying to side draft Austin maybe a little bit. Gotta be careful though with Cole Custer already on his back bumper. Side drafting might be a little harder. Look at Busch checking out from the field as they're 4 wide for about 2nd place. I wonder he's checking away from him. They've still been 3 by 3, even into the back of the pack still since this restart. Schneider slides into the 16 of Justin Haley. Haley gets into the wall. We get another caution. Our 4th of the race. Brendan Gaughan gets the free pass in 25th. Hopefully I don't, Inside Uranus. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you can make it back for the finish. Ashton G, Michael Turner, welcome on in. Boy, oh boy. Green flag back in the air. His restarts have been wild at Michigan. Track that probably produces maybe the most wild restarts in NASCAR. This wider racing surface. Here in Fontana, that has always seemed to be the case no matter what package. And with this current aero package, it maybe even more so. We've been seeing a lot of 4 wide a lap into it. Schneider just cleared Timmy Hill off the exit of the corner. Hill's going to give him a massive push now down the back straightaway. Schneider takes it all the way to the inside, 3 wide. Not quite going to clear to Benedetto off the exit of the corner. Tyler Reddick now in the push down through the trioval. Oh, a little contact with the Benedetto. Nemechek just about got the wall off turn 2. Timmy Hill soaring on the outside. He's going to give Schneider a push into 3. Schneider, again, does not have a very strong race car. He's just trying to survive on these restarts. Well, we got 3 cars pushing one another into turn 1. Schneider in the middle of it. He was pushing Wallace as Quinn Houff was simultaneously pushing him. Haley got really tight in line. He had to get way out of the gas and about crashed off of turn 2. Oh my goodness. 4 wide. Once again, into the corner. Almost into the side of the 66 of Timmy Hill. 5 wide. Oh, there's still 4 and 5 wide. Schneider bangs off of the 32 of LaJoy. And around goes the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Schneider's down in the grass as well. And another caution as they were 5 wide that time off of turn 4. And we get another accident. But it looked like everybody involved saved it that time. Schneider's just going to repair the damage and drop to the back here. Get out of the harm's way at this point. My goodness. You knew once they were 4 wide was hard enough. We saw them crash off 4 when they were 4 wide at the end of stage 1. They were 5 wide that time at the back of the pack. I'm surprised there were only 2 cars involved. Well, Schneider actually didn't get out of Dodge way with repairing the damage because there's still quite a few cars a lap down, so he's right back in the middle again. Restarting the inside lane. It's been fortunate to restart on the inside every single time, though. Outside of the initial start of the race when he was dead last. But in the final row, basically kind of get to pick where you want to be. Daniel Suarez got into the wall off of turn 2 on the restart. Stenhouse pushes Schneider. Schneider goes low with that run underneath of Chastain, and now 3 wide, 4 wide off the exit of turn 4 again. Chastain going to push Schneider. Schneider holds on to it this time. Big run on the outside by the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Still 3 wide through the tri-oval further back. Chastain's been one of the more aggressive cars in this race as well. A little bit of a wreck fest here in the midst of stage 2. A lot of bump drafting gone wrong. It's all right to bump draft down the straightaways and through the tri-oval here at Michigan, but it's another thing to bump drafting in the middle of the corners, and that's where we've seen it all go bad when it has happened. Doesn't look like Fincham wants to push Schneider at all. Wallace had to jam on the brakes at the last second once Schneider moved down in front of him. Wallace gonna get around the 99. Here comes Cole Custer. He did not hit Schneider square, but Schneider hangs on to it. Custer pushing him down the back straightaway. Almost hit him directly on that left rear corner panel from what it looked like. I'm surprised it didn't knock the 99 more out of shape. He did it again, too. Definitely not hitting him square. It's looking like Daytona and Talladega here today. Quinn Half up high, might try to take it 3 wide. He doesn't have any help. He should get a decent run off the exit of the corner, though. And with that, he gets into the back of Schneider through the tri-oval. Gonna bump draft him again. Making a little bit of headway. Half goes all the way up high again. Schneider got a little tight once he got in line behind Bobby Carter. Boyer's going to clear him off the exit of turn 2 now, and Half again with another run off the high side to push, this time down the back straightaway. Up the middle goes Schneider, 3 wide, splitting between Stenhouse and Clint Boyer. Sends it underneath Carter and now Justin Haley as well. Oh, walked up the racetrack a little bit. And now Stenhouse with a push. Everybody still has to pit before the end of the stage. All the action happening in the middle and the back of the pack. It's been behind Kyle Busch for the most part here today. Means he has been out in front the longest. He tries to go for back-to-back wins. Nobody has won back-to-back races at all this season. And 2 drivers have won more than once of Denny Hamlin and Keegan Schneider. Busch trying to be the 3rd. And Brad Keselowski did win stage 1 on a last lap pass on Kyle Busch. We had a 1-lap shootout to the end of the stage. Schneider just slides up in front of Clint Boyer with a block and a slide job off turn 4. Boyer got into the back of him. Boyer did a great job keeping it off the wall. Schneider dives underneath of Austin Dillon now, battling him for position. Trying to side draft him down the back straightaway. As well, he's drafting in line behind Custer, who's on the inside of Justin Haley. Custer and Haley both 1 lap down. Austin Dillon follows Schneider to the inside, and now we get a caution. Free pass goes to Bubba Wallace, and already our 6th caution of the race, and we're not even halfway. Again, Kyle Busch still in the lead. Surprised nobody else is pitting during this caution. We got some lap cars pitting, but that's it. Chase Elliott is out of the race after he blew that right front at the end of stage 1, by the way. His winless season continues. But Schneider's going to hit pit road for 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. He's going to be good on fuel to the end of the stage. He won't have to save this time or get a caution, so now he's hoping this stays green to the end. Not sure who brought out that accident. Must have happened somewhere near the front. All we do know is Kyle Busch will lead the field to the green once again, and this is the first restart Schneider has been on the outside all day. Quickly, though, going to get to the bottom behind Chad Fincham and in front of the 16 of Justin Haley. Fincham kind of crisscrosses. He goes high now. Not a bad restart for being on the outside. Remember, Schneider has 4 fresh tires right now as well. And also a push from Justin Haley getting into turn 3. There's some lap cars with fresh tires also, so look out for them to come flying through from the back of the pack as well. Schneider's going to run this hard, and he's going to hope that this strategy will play out this time. He's got 4 tires instead of 2, though, like he did in stage 1. So maybe this will help keep him up in the running order now. Carney Boy, welcome to the stream. Welcome back from vacation. Hopefully you had a good time. He's still trying to push Schneider. Schneider kind of blocks him a little bit off turn 2 as well. He doesn't like the pushes in the center of the corners. We've seen a lot of accidents already. Again, 6 cautions for incident here today. 5 of which coming since 5 laps to go in stage 1. And that one long run, everything else has been short runs. Stage 1 winner, Brad Keselowski. Michigan native as well. Rochester Hills is now out in front. This would be a big win for Brad Keselowski. He's always said winning at Michigan would be like winning the Daytona 500. Now he hasn't won either one of those 2 things. He's never won at Michigan, and he has never won the Daytona 500, so I can see it being compared to the 500, considering he hasn't won it, so he doesn't really know that feeling yet. But needless to say, be very proud if he can go to victory lane for their 2nd time this season and be right here today. And again, we have just been seeing a ton of bump drafting all day long. Schneider in the 21st position. Oh, wow, David Reagan coming in hot. 3 wide, he barely kept it off the wall. Schneider thought about blocking. Reagan all the way on the outside. I think he's got fresher tires. He is a lap down, though. Again, Schneider's the only lead lap car on fresher tires right now. 30 laps to go still in stage 2. Again, 6 cautions in the race, but 4 of them in the 2nd stage already. Or sorry, 3 rather, in the 2nd stage, because there's a caution on the last lap of stage 1. Eric Jones now to the lead for the first time today. Another Michigan native. Wow, family had a burger contest and won. Nice. And they're 4 wide through turns 1 and 2 right now. Looks like LaJoie's getting pushed by Ryan Preece, it looks like. Oh, McDowell got shuffled out of line. He had to get out of the gas. Schneider was getting pushed by Haley, wasn't going anywhere. He saw the run Timmy Hill had, so he just hopped in front of him. Bobby Carter, rather. Saw the green, and I thought it was Timmy Hill. It was Bobby Carter, and Carter gave him a lot bigger of a push, perhaps. Oh, off turn 4! Carter just about turned Schneider. What a save. Stayed in the gas, too, but definitely lost momentum either way. Carter had such a huge run. Now he's going to push Schneider in the center of 1 and 2. That has not worked out very well when it has happened. Schneider's in the wall. Contact with LaJoy. McDowell squeezes up the middle now as well. Haley coming in hot. So is pretty much the rest of the field here. Denny Hamlin shoved Schneider into the wall earlier the same way through 1 and 2. And Bobby Carter did right there, pushing him in the center of the corner. Quickly drives back to the inside of Gone. Trying to get a run on Suarez. Gaughan's boxed in. Schneider side drafts Suarez into turns 3 and 4. And they're still going 3 wide up there. Denny Hamlin currently the race leader. Leaders are going to take this run as long as they can to the end of the stage. 3 cautions for 9 caution laps in this stage, plus the caution laps at the stage break. You wonder, can these guys actually make it? And that's why they did not pit under that last caution. Pit road does close with 2 laps to go in the stage. It might take to the very end of it to really find out if they're going to have enough fuel or not. Schneider knows he definitely can make it. All these cautions in the second stage, we haven't been able to alternate through the different camera angles yet. We'll be doing that at the start-finish line this time by. Talked about this race possibly flying by here today. We're still not even halfway considering all the cautions we've had. Very close to halfway, though. Exactly, Michael. A lot of saves already here for the 99. Very fortunate luck off turn 4 as well. Guess we won't need this Speedway chassis in the next race when we go road course racing for the first time this season at Sonoma tomorrow night. We'll be following the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast. Podcast will begin at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Schneider on the outside of Clint Boyer as well. Now he's trying to side draft Boyer. Ugh, Boyer just clears him. And side draft him enough. Full throttle through 3 and 4, and he just slingshots right around Clint Boyer off the exit of 4. There wasn't a lot of room for error, but there was no error at all anyway. He stuck that corner beautifully. Couldn't have made a better pass in a more tighter situation, too. Look at these guys still going 3 and 4 wide. Now Boyer's going to try that same move on Schneider. Schneider's out of the groove a little bit. Well, out of the inside groove as he runs the bottom. Boyer's going to get back alongside of him. This is not a battle for position, although it might seem like it. Schneider tries to stay on the right rear corner panel. Boyer is clear again. Schneider's going to try the same move he did the last lap. A little sideways. Clipping the apron and again clears Clint Boyer. And again was able to hold it full throttle. Now goes to the apron through the tri-oval. Trying to break the draft on the 14. Back to the outside to block him. Boyer again, though, beats him to the inside. He's going to try to go full throttle this time on the top instead of lifting. Means Boyer does have the bottom, and now they're side by side again down the back straightaway. Back and forth go the 14 and the 99. Even if it's not for position, what a great battle. Schneider tried to get to the inside again, but he had to lift. Boyer was able to block it. He clips the apron, and around he goes. Slides through the grass, overcorrects it, into the outside wall. Waiting for the cars to pass by before pulling down to the bottom of the track, but it will bring out a caution. He didn't completely save it, but the light enough hit into the outside wall after battling the 14 hard is enough to give him 3 seconds of damage that he will have to repair here. Very unfortunate, because if it went green to the end of the stage, he might have had a stage win in there, and he was just pushing the car way too hard. That was a big mistake there by the 99. And it's been one of those sloppy races here today. 7 cautions in the first half of the race. We have hit halfway now under the yellow. And Eric Almirola just took the lead away from Kyle Busch right before the caution. Schneider can't pit for fuel or tires due to being involved in the accident. So with repairing the 3 seconds of damage only, he'll actually restart in second place. Almirola wins the race off pit road. He'll restart from the lead. Green flag back in the air at Michigan. Schneider's going to get eaten alive on this restart. 17 to go. He'll try to side draft the 10. Maybe he can lead another green flag lap in here before everybody gets around him. Second straight restart. He's been on the outside as well here. He's trying to hang on. Hamlin, though, pulls down to the bottom to go with Almirola instead of Schneider, leaving Eric Jones on the outside and 2 hometown kids going to bump draft down the back straightaway into turn 3. Schneider was still trying to side draft, but he couldn't hang on. Jones going to push him in the middle of the corner. Schneider had to lift, so did Jones. Jones pushed him in a bad spot, and they both almost ended up in the wall. Now they're 4 wide going through the tri-oval off of turn 4. Into Reddick, 4 wide again, and they all saved it. Schneider's just going to go to the bottom and let these guys train around him. He just wants to keep this car in the race for the final stage at this point. Oh, Haley just about turned him. Welcome back, Trevor. Yeah, we will have a mismatch penalty at Sonoma because we do not have a road course chassis. What a wild race, though, here today at Michigan. I mean, it might be a lottery of who wins this one. I don't think we've seen anybody leading this race, though, that hasn't won yet this season. Schneider for 1 lap. Jones for about a lap or 2. Almirola's led a few laps. All those guys have wins. Kyle Busch has led the most. He has a win. Keselowski won stage 1. He has a win. Hamlin's led. He's got 2 wins. I should say Schneider's got 2 wins as well, but Schneider needs Bobby Carter to keep pushing him, though, so Schneider can definitely stay in the lead lap to the end of the stage. Big launch into turns 1 and 2. Schneider's not going to be able to clear Boyer. Here comes Carter again. At least with Carter pushing him, he's not pushing him in the center of the corner, which is nice. Again, that's where we see these accidents. Schneider knows he's got to not push the car over aggressively like he has done a couple times already today. Carter gets into him in the wrong spot and just about turns the 99 through the tri-oval. He hit him in the left rear on the exit of turn 4. We talked about pushing in the middle of the corners all day long, and he did right there. Schneider made another great save. It has been a handful all day long, not because the car is ill handling, but because these guys are not pushing him in a great spot. About ready to just let Bobby Carter go and accept his fate at this point, and just hope he has the car on these older tires to be able to stay on the lead lap to the end of the stage. All these cautions that have come out in this race, again, 7 total so far for incident, all in the first 100 laps. We'll see if things will calm down once we get into the final stage, but I do not see that happening. Schneider not in position to get stage points. Looks like it'll be back-to-back races without any stage points at all. Unless we get a late stage caution and everybody pits and he'll stay out again. Try and do what he did at the end of stage 1 when we had a 1-lap shootout. If he would have hung on to that car going 4 wide off of turn 4, he could have gotten to 3rd. But with Kenseth pushing him in a bad spot, it just turned him right around. Bobby Carter still pushing. Schneider's not letting him go, though, either. Really doesn't want to risk going a lap down to the end of the stage. Giving up the draft, and Carter's just going to push him on the inside in the middle of the corner through 1 and 2. It's going to shove him right around Ross Chastain. Fincham can't quite shut the door in time either, and he pushed him right around Fincham. Carter finally gets underneath him. And it doesn't look like Fincham's going to push Schneider. He hasn't really wanted to most of this race. More action to come, indeed. Chastain gave a little bit of a shot. When Chastain got around Fincham, he's like, all right, if you're not going to push the 99, I will. But Eric Almirola trying to get his second stage win of the season. His only other stage win came at Dover, where he won that race in dominating fashion about 3 races ago. So he is locked into the playoffs, assuming we don't get more than 16 different winners, which is still possible. We still have 11 races left in the regular season after this one, and 12 different winners already. Though we have not seen anybody lead laps today that hasn't won yet this season. So this could be another race where we'll see possibly another repeat winner. Though with all these restarts, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a new winner. Especially if they come later and later into the race. I think Schneider's going to be fine, even if he doesn't get any more drafting help from behind down these longer straightaways here at Michigan. Oh! Man, a little loose there. He was going to cut down to side draft Carter, and he got right into him. Huge push to Timmy Hill in a bad spot, too, but Hill hangs on to it strong. Might give him a run off turn 2 with being able to hold on to it. Schneider down low, 3 wide, got a little shaky, almost slid into Hill. Again, just pushing it too hard. It's really hard for a race car driver to lift. And Schneider's done a pretty good job of not being overly aggressive this season. I know he's got 3 DNFs in the first 14 races, but he had 3 in the first 9. Been involved in 4 accidents today, although 2 of which he was able to save it and get 0 damage. The big one off of turn 4 on the last lap of stage 1 when they were 4 wide on that green white checker restart was one of them. He got a little bit of damage, only 1 second worth. And then when he got into the outside wall off turn 4, spinning same area of the racetrack, kind of just clipped the apron and around he went there. Cost him 3 seconds of damage, and he overcorrected it too because he had it saved and then overcorrected it at the last second. But luckily, he locked it down enough that he barely slid into it with the left front. And he's been able to repair all the damage today. Had 8 seconds worth at Kansas last night with the same race car, though. So the departments aren't even maxed out either. Again, 82, 82, and 83 tonight. It could be a max of 85 all the way through. He's currently in 24th. Not even the last car on the lead lap either. He's got decent speed longer into the run. And he does have older tires than everybody else right now by about 10 to 15 laps as well. And he's still not the last car on the lead lap. I believe there's 28 cars on the lead lap. We'll have a 29th at the end of the stage. 2 to go in stage 2. Eric Almirola continues to lead. He'll be coming to the final lap of the stage this time by Schneider down low to block Boyer into turn 1, not for position again. Holds full throttle, gaps him a little bit, but we'll see how much of a draft Boyer will get down the back straightaway to maybe try to pull back to the 99. He's getting a little bit of one, but it's a little too far back to make a move now. 1 more corner to go for Almirola to hold on with a hungry pack of cars behind him as he tries to get a second stage win of the season. Schneider's not made any adjustments to this race car all day long either. And Eric Almirola wins stage 2. Schneider finishes 24th and 11th in both stages here tonight. So second stage win of the season for Eric Almirola. There's a look at the top 10. We'll be seeing some pit stops. No adjustments here for the 99 crew. 4 tires, going to repair whatever damage they have and get this car back out there. Going to pause it for a quick moment. Also, Kyle Busch, when he won stage 1, that was his 3rd stage win of the season as well. So Almirola now has 2 stage wins after today at Michigan. Kyle Busch now has 3. Both drivers with 1 win this season, so they are in the playoffs. Barring more than 16 winners that they would have to race each other in. But Kyle Busch is 3rd in points, so he'll be in no matter what. I doubt he's going to be able to fall outside the top 16. Eric Almirola, on the other hand, though, is right around 16th in points, so he definitely doesn't want to see more than 16 winners. But if he gets a second win, he'll guarantee himself in, just like what Schneider was able to do in the Coke 600, because he's right around 16th in points. But he got that second win. which is a guaranteed spot. LaJoy gave him a shot into turn 3 on the restart. Third straight time Schneider's had to restart on the outside. LaJoy going to push him in the center of the corner, but they're going to hang on to it for now. Suarez on the outside. 3 wide through the tri-oval. Oh, a little contact with Quinn Houff. Massive shot underneath David Reagan. Schneider all the way up the racetrack. 5 wide in the middle of the corner as they race around the 99. Still 4 wide up the exit as LaJoy just about squeezed Suarez into the wall. Last car in line, Ryan Preece now to push the 99 of Schneider. He's going to push him in the middle of 3 and 4. Schneider hangs on to it this time as Almirola leads the first couple laps of stage 3. Well, Preece is going to abandon the 99. He goes up the middle between him and Carter. Schneider lifted a little bit. He gave Preece the room. He's trying not to race overly aggressively, but now that he's going to lose the draft, he does not have a good short-run car, especially when everybody's on equal fresh tires. They're 4 wide off turn 4 again. How are they not wrecking? 74 to go at Michigan. Kyle Busch back to the lead. Just got around Eric Almirola. Schneider's going to consider adding a little bit more tape. Not in heavy traffic, though, right now. That's when the oil temps really get hot, when he gets tucked underneath another car and he is pushing in the draft. But he could probably get 5 to 10% more and still keep it below 260, even in the pack. Keselowski, Michigan native, back out in front again, passing Kyle Busch. It's got to be exactly like Daytona and Talladega at the front of the field right now, with all those guys cycling back and forth for the lead. Almirola, who led the first few laps of the stage, is now back out in front once again. Schneider lacking behind. Last car on the lead lap in 28th currently, but he's not worried about it for the moment. He just needs timely cautions in this final stage, that's all. And even if he goes a lap down, he's got quite a ways back to Cole Custer in 29th for the free pass position to get a caution at some point just to get back on the lead lap. He's all right with taking the free pass if we get more than one caution in the stage, but and with it still being early enough in the final stage as well, this is only a one-stop race to the finish, though, in this final stage. At least depending on where the cautions will fly. Schneider's fastest lap is while getting bump drafted pretty much the entire lap by Ryan Blaney late in stage 1. It was a 40.272. That last lap by himself out of the draft on fresh tires, when he's at his slowest, it seems like 42.187, almost 2 seconds a lap slower than his fastest lap, and a 42 flat that last time. It was still about 1.8 seconds off. Fastest lap ever, 38.493 here at Michigan on the championship mode, when everything would be maxed out. We got our setup in. So that is a vast difference there. Obviously, with a lot more cars on the lead lap than what there was on the Coke 600 when he won on a late race restart with 6 to go on about 30 lap fresher tires. He's going to need a caution to come out maybe at a little bit different of a time, or maybe multiple cautions here to give him more time to get through the pack, even though it's a half-mile longer of a racetrack as well. He also doesn't have as fast of a race car on top of what he had in the Coke 600 because he's not gotten any stage points today, and the only time he led was on strategy, where he led one lap in this race by pitting during the second to last, well, I guess second to last caution in stage one, and then he ended up getting one late anyway. Schneider's about 2/3 of a racetrack behind Keselowski. Noah Schneider seems to be faster on older tires than fresh tires, too. You almost consider him just pitting as soon as that window opens to the end. So that way, if we get later and later cautions, he can just stay out. Might be the play. He will have to pit for tires at some point, even though this this track is not as abrasive on tires yet. With the current surface. And thanks to all you guys tuning in once again here at my home track, the Michigan International Speedway, final stage with about 64 laps to go. A one-stop race to the finish if this goes green to the end. Schneider last car in the lead lap in 28, but he's still, again, about 28 and a half seconds ahead of Colt Custer. The main worry is if Schneider goes a lap down and then somebody else goes a lap down in front of him. Chad Fincham's only 4.5 seconds ahead of him right now. Then he wouldn't be in the free pass position anymore. He's slowly cutting back into Fincham's deficit, but by the time Keselowski gets there, I don't think Schneider's going to get to the 49 car yet. Overran the corner again. Another massive save and another caution. I'm surprised they threw the caution that time because Schneider did the same thing earlier and they did not throw the caution. And it looked more egregious earlier than what that did. It didn't even seem like he really clipped the apron. The left side tire was on the white line, but I didn't feel the transition down onto the apron there, so I'm not really sure how he overdrove it. But either way, well, he can't pit for fuel or tires now because he brought out the yellow, unfortunately, so he's just... I mean, he might as... Yeah, he's just going to have to stay out, I guess, because... No damage to repair either. Couple cars come into the pits, though. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon. Cole Custer gets the free pass in 29th. That was not a caution Schneider wanted for himself. I mean, he needed the caution so he could pit and try to go off strategy, but now he's still in the same strategy as the leaders. Nobody can make it upfield to the end still anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. And again, another brilliant save. Our 8th caution of the race. Will this be the final restart? Much more quiet final stage up to this point, but another crazy restart, I'm sure of it. 3x3 towards the front, 3 wide on your screen towards the back. 4 wide now as they jockey around. There was a little bit of contact in the middle of the corner, I believe, between Austin Dillon and Timmy Hill. And Stenhouse is just giving a massive push to Schneider. Now he goes in between his teammate and Schneider through the tri-oval. Schneider up high now to try and side draft the 37 of Priest. Driver's on fresher tires behind him. Getting closer. Suarez almost pushed Schneider into Reddick. Reddick bounces off the wall. Schneider's going to go around again. Massive spin. Getting clipped by a couple cars. Finally get the caution to wave. Our 9th of the race, and again, he's involved in another accident. My goodness. He cannot catch a break. Free pass to Stenhouse. This has not been a clean race for Schneider at all. We do not deserve to win this thing at all. I hate seeing races like this when we're involved in a lot of them because it just feels like I'm doing everything wrong, even though it's not even my own doing. Like right there, we just getting pushed in the center of the corner a lot. Chad Fincham only car to pit during that caution. 30 cars now in the lead lap. Green flag back in the air. Keselowski leads the field to the green, still outside the pit window to make it to the finish. And again, being involved in the accident, he could not pit to top off on fuel and tires. But again, everybody's going to be about 7 to 8 laps short. Not going to be able to save that on a 2-mile oval. And will this be the final restart of the race? Priest had to check up. McDowell pushes Schneider right into Priest in the middle of 1 and 2. They all hang on to it again. A little bit of a stack up further up. Down the back straightaway. 34 car gave Schneider a massive shove. So much speed carrying it into the corner. He got into the side of the 62 of Brendan Gaughan, and now Gaughan pushes him off 4. Schneider barely hangs on to it again. Schneider just got in the back of DiBenedetto. Basically got shoved in there from the 34 car. DiBenedetto hangs on to it too. A lot of lane changing going on down the back straightaway on top of it. Everybody trying to set themselves up to make passes, especially these guys on fresher tires than the drivers on older tires. Schneider going to push Newman through the tri-oval. Schneider follows Boyer to the inside. 3 wide. Newman in the middle. Nemechek all the way up high. Schneider down low. Schneider trying to side draft Newman. Newman trying to simultaneously side draft the 38. At the front of the field, it's Eric Almirola leading this race again. 50 laps to go at the start-finish line here at Michigan. Caution. For the 10th time today, caution is out. Third time at the final stage. Daniel Suarez in 31st gets the free pass. Timmy Hill, Ross Chastain going to pit. Schneider gonna pit as well. And I'm surprised more cars aren't pitting right now. 10% more tape going on the 99 car. No other adjustments. It's like Jimmy Johnson's going to pit, Hamlin, Jones. So only about 5 or 6 cars are going to pit and try to make it to the end from here. This could be a fuel mileage race now at Michigan for those drivers pitting under the yellow. And a lot of these drivers still have not pit for some time. Green flag back in the air. Following our 10th caution of the race, already our 7th race this season with double-digit caution totals. And mind you, this is only race number 15. It has been that kind of a season. This is probably one of the more sloppier of those races this season. I think this and Martinsville were probably it. It wasn't sloppy at Martinsville for us, though, but it's definitely been sloppy for us in today's race. But now, being able to go off strategy, got a lot of drivers on fresh tires. Well, I guess only 6 or 7 on fresh tires right now, but a lot of drivers on older tires. Schneider not as fast on fresh tires, though. He gets a little contact with the 96 of Suarez. He's up the middle, 4 wide, sandwiched between Boyer and Carter. Nowhere to go, though, with Justin Haley pushing him. We might have another wreck getting into turn 1. You know, bunched together, these guys are 3 wide. Schneider had to tap the brakes a couple times. Chastain got a little loose in front of the 36. 4 wide off the exit of the corner. McDowell and Custer get into each other. They're still making contact down the back straightaway. Schneider got shoved 4 wide into 3 again by Haley. Priest down low. Still 4 wide. Barely keeps it off LaJoy. Haley was not pushing him in a good spot. Now Haley gets into LaJoy. 4 wide again. A little bit of a checkup. Schneider the 14. Suarez gets a little slideways in the middle of the corner as Jones gets up high with a run. Nemechek blocks Suarez down the back straightaway. Schneider coming in at 190 miles an hour plus into turn 3 with a push from Justin Haley again. And Haley's just going to follow him through the corner. Massively push Schneider off turn 4 another time. I mean, the bump drafting is going to help Schneider save a little bit of fuel, but it is getting very aggressive again. 4 wide into turn 1. Schneider down low with Haley pushing him. Will they make it through 1 and 2? Had to tag the brakes a little bit to keep it off of Johnson. Jones still in the middle. There's no way these guys are going to make it to the end. Oh, there's trouble. Up turn 2. Stenhouse is in the wall. Contact with Clint Boyer. Jones barely made it through. He got a little loose in the process. Schneider was clear of all of it with Suarez pushing him from behind. And Daniel Suarez has just pushed Schneider inside the top 20. It was only a matter of time before something like that was going to happen and they were going to stack up. Still staying green somehow, which is what Schneider wants to see to the finish, if at all possible. Jones gets back around him. He's one of the drivers that pitted. Suarez continues to push Schneider. Yeah, again, I don't really know too much in the details on the Atlanta repaving, so that's why I've been kind of silent on it tonight. I haven't been able to read on anything, but I'll get on that as soon as this race is over and I can read more stuff about it. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, though, Tyler Reddick is the rookie leading the field, trying to be the 3rd rookie to win this season. This is the first time he's led this year. Or, sorry, first time he's led in this race. And he's the first driver without a win to lead in this race as well. He was one of the drivers that pitted during that last caution. Look at Timmy Hill pushing Schneider down the back straightaways. He's 3 wide underneath Suarez and Kenseth. Awkward angle into turn 3 for both the 99 and the 66. Schneider lifted underneath Harvick to keep it off of him with that awkward angle. Schneider is still being pushed by Timmy Hill through the tri-oval. He's up to 14th. Trying to hang on to it. He's got a lot of damage to the back bumper now, though, with all these guys pushing the heck out of him in this final possibly run to the finish if we go green. And he could save 2 laps of fuel, which could be possible with the bump drafting going on from behind him. And staying in the draft with cars in front of him. Just got to the inside of Bowman. He had a huge run on him. Timmy Hill continues to push him into turn 3. Hill finally gets underneath him. Bowman's going to be the one to push Schneider now. Timmy Hill is up to 13th. I didn't even realize he was for position this whole time. I believe he was one of the drivers that pitted during that last caution, one of the 7. Bowman gave Schneider a shot to get back underneath Hill. Now he pushes him in the middle of the corner. That has been dangerous all day long, but Schneider holds on to it pretty good, despite maybe being a little looser with the rear bumper damage too. He's clear of Timmy Hill into 3 and 4. Hill charges back to side draft on the 88. Jimmy Johnson is in the mix of things now. Johnson's got a massive run. Doesn't matter whether they're tandeming down low. The 99 and the 88, Johnson clears them both into turn 1. He was the furthest ahead of everybody that pitted during that last caution. Oh, man, he barely cleared half. Almost put it in the wall trying to clear him. Off turn 2, he gets to the outside of Blaney as well. Jimmy Johnson could be the guy to beat late. He's going 3 wide up the middle on Bubba Wallace. Can't tell who else was in there as well. Obviously, Blaney, Truex, Logano. Johnson's finally getting through this pack of traffic. Denny Hamlin leads the race currently, taking it away now from Tyler Reddick. Oh, big block up high by Wallace on Hauff. Hauff's a lap down, but I think he's got fresher tires than Bubba. Schneider cannot clear. The 43 barely kept it off of him. Wallace got the run off the high side and from the draft in front of him of the 00. Now he goes down low to try and block the 99. Schneider sends it in on him, clears him in the middle of the corner for 13th. And he's going to block Wallace through the tri-oval. Wallace not going to push him. He's just trying to get around him right now. Schneider goes all the way down low. Bowman to the outside of the 43 for position himself now. Wallace just gets underneath Schneider. R6, welcome to the stream. Ball drafting doing wonders for straightaway speed, but it has been dangerous all day. But these guys have not let up the intensity from the drop of the green flag. And you knew it was going to be one of those caution fest races when we had our first caution back on lap 11. And then we had that big one off of turn 4 on the final lap of stage 1. Just kind of set the tone for this race. And again, we've had 10 cautions total. Schneider trying to go full throttle through 1 and 2. Oh, trouble! Austin Dillon's around! Into the outside wall, caution! And now everybody is going to top off. Another accident. Schneider had to bounce into the side of Bubba Wallace just to get underneath it, to make sure he was going to miss Austin Dillon, because that happened right in front of him. Dillon's car stepped out from underneath him, as we've seen from so many others. Quinn Houff gets the free pass in 32nd. Again, Gase and Elliott, the only guys out of the race. Schneider is going to stay out of the pits. He is going to restart from the lead. That caution might allow him to make it on fuel now without having to save anything. He's going to be dead in the water, but it's worth a try. Green flag back in the air. He led one other time today on a different strategy back at stage 1. He is faster on older tires, too, compared to fresh tires, so that's why he stayed out. Got a good launch on the restart, gets in front of Hamlin. Hamlin tried to get to the bottom, but Eric Jones beat him to it. And Jones is up to second now. Top 3 are all hometown heroes trying to win the race. And after our 11th caution, will we go green to the finish? Schneider might actually lead a green flag lap here, as he stays in front of Jones and Keselowski. Once he loses that clean air, it is going to be madness. It still might be madness through the tri-oval. Schneider leads the lap. Keselowski to the outside with help from Hamlin. Jones to push Schneider physically now into turn 1. Schneider's going to drop all the way to the back. He's just going to try to stay out of trouble. Only got a second green flag lap let in, I guess, today. Now Hamlin goes for the lead underneath Keselowski in the 2. Oh, Jones just about turned Schneider down the back straightaway. He got him in the right rear. That was not a clean push at all. Schneider on the brakes to keep it off of Reddick. 5 wide in the middle of the corner now. Down to 3 wide as they funnel out through the tri-oval. Schneider shot into the 96. Now Suarez almost got into Busch. They were 5 wide again, getting into turn 1. How are they ever going to make it to the finish? Eric Almirola back to the lead off turn 4, but he's not clear yet. Almost some contact further back between Stenhouse and Gahn. Gahn pushes Schneider in the center of the corner. Schneider just hanging on to 23rd now. Really has no control over where Gahn's pushing him. He was all over the place down the back straightaway. Split 3 wide middle. Almost got into Austin Dillon. If this goes green to the end, I don't see Schneider finishing on the lead lap. Best chance for Schneider is we just get caution after caution after caution at this point. He just hopes he can miss everything and continue to stay in the race to get as good of a finish as possible with some restarts, but that's about it. I do not have a Snapchat, by the way. Just opened up a Twitter account last weekend, and then, the weekend before last weekend. So you can follow me on Twitter. That's down in the description below, and then you can also follow me on Instagram. That is also in the description below. Most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Extremely close to 900 subscribers. Road to becoming a NASCAR commentator, as all you regulars know. I'm surprised Schneider hasn't even dropped all the way to the back of the pack. It's probably because Cole Custer's willing to push him still. Oh, he didn't hit him clean. Clipped him in the left rear. Schneider barely keeps it out of the grass. Contact between Custer and Priest now through the tri-oval. Schneider loses a few more positions, now back to 29. 26 laps to go now for Almirola at the front. It's been one of those races. Tires are definitely going to be good on to the finish of this race, and he's about a lap and a half to 2 laps to the good on fuel with that last caution as well. Haley got into him in a bad spot, getting into the corner. Now he even worse spot in the middle of the corner. Bobby Carter got into him as well, just about turns him. Up the middle goes Carter now into 3. Aggressive bump drafting has turned Schneider around so many times. I think only twice he actually spun on his own. The one time he saved it, we stayed green. The other time he saved it, and we got a caution for it midway through this final stage. He's not the final car in the lead lap still. Timmy Hill and Ross Chastain are behind him. Here comes Hill with a run down the back straightaway, going to give Schneider a push into turn 3. Barely able to stay in front of David Reagan, who is not for position. Reagan's a lap down right now. Still trying to keep as many cars behind him as possible. Reagan's going to beat him to the inside into turn 1, though. Joy also a lap down. Timmy Hill on the outside, going to give Schneider a push again. They've been bump drafting since the drop of the green flag today, and they will continue until the checker flag. Almirola trying to win his second race of the season. He'd be right on the bubble if we get more than 16 different winners. Much like Schneider. Schneider's got 2 wins, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Almirola looking to do the same, and this would be the second win for Almirola and a 5-race stretch as well. A little bit of a hot streak. 2 stage wins in that process. He did win a stage earlier today as well. On stage number 2. Bump drafting might actually keep Schneider on the lead lap to the end of the stage. End of the race, rather. With this being the final stage. Very fortunate to not DNF tonight, honestly. I mean, you can't even count on 2 hands how many times we've been close to DNFing. All 11 of these cautions they've either wrecked right around us, or we've been involved in the wreck and survived with 3 seconds or less of damage each time, and very fortunate. Was involved in the big one at the end of stage 1 on the final lap with a 1-lap green-white checker shootout there. We were 4 wide. We've been 5 wide a couple times where we saw 1 accident there as well. Somehow there were only 2 cars involved in that 5 wide melee off of turn 4. Then we were 5 wide. Stenhouse got into the wall here in the final stage, and we stayed green out of that. Austin Dillon wrecked right in front of us, and we barely missed to the inside. Had to squeeze Bubba Wallace down to do so. Hopefully he understands at the end of the race why we hit him intentionally. Good thing it didn't wreck Wallace, so I would have felt bad if it wrecked him when we moved down. But it was either that or we were going to hit Austin Dillon head on and knock ourselves out of the race for sure then. 19 laps to go. Tires are maybe starting to even out a little bit for the 99 versus the rest of the field here too. Keep the streak of finishing races alive, yeah. I'd like to not DNF the rest of the year if we could help it. Almost overran 3 and 4. Got a little shaky. Had to lift. Barely kept it off of Justin Haley. Both Haley and McDowell are not for position. I don't know why I drove it in that deep. And we get a caution. Our 12th of the race. Michael McDowell will get the free pass in 33rd. Nobody is going to pit on the lead lap except for the guy at the back. Schneider's going to take 2 tires. Going to repair that damage. And no adjustments. Well, actually, they're going to go 2 pounds up on the air pressure. All the way around. Why not? Might as well top off on fuel in case we go to a few overtimes. Well, 2 right side tires help maybe balance the car off, and will it be much quicker? He's going to have to go from 31st on the restart. But why not with a little over a dozen laps to go? Green flag back in the air, 14 to go at Michigan. Will this be the final restart? We've seen 4 and 5 wide all day long on these restarts late, and I'm sure we're not done seeing it. Well, now it's time to be aggressive for Schneider and step in on this action. Honestly, that couldn't have been a more perfect timing caution, I feel like, for the 99. Probably could have added a little bit more tape, too, but really hoping the adjustments are going to work. Really, only the second adjustment he's made all day long, and he's making headway on the restart, but he's got a lot of cars to pass. And he's still going to need help down the straightaway as he gets a massive push from Cole Custer. That just knocked him into the side of Quinn Houff. Got him a little loose there, and they about wrecked again. 3 wide towards the front of the field. Hamlin trying to get underneath Almirola. They're side by side down the back straightaway for the lead with Almirola on the high side. Hamlin down low. That was not the caution Almirola wanted to see to stack the field up again. Still side by side into the corner. Almirola might be dead in the water. Schneider needs more help from behind. He's pulling away from the cars behind him. Trying to draft off Austin Dillon, who's on the outside. 12 to go here at Michigan as Almirola continues to barely hold on to the lead. Schneider scraped the wall into turn 1. That's going to cost him time, too. He cannot get around Ryan Preece right now. The outside wasn't working. He tried the bottom, but Preece occupies the spot. Remember, Suarez pushed him inside the top 15 earlier. That could be the car to get in front of here. Full throttle through 3 and 4. Schneider's going to send it. Tripped up just enough. He couldn't clear Suarez, but he does clear Preece and Dillon. Side by side with Suarez. Suarez side drafted him, but Austin Dillon's going to give him a big push. Gone trying to block. Schneider sends it into 1 and 2. Underneath Gone, but now he's got Wallace blocking him now. Dillon just pushed Schneider into Wallace. That's going to shoot Wallace out ahead of Bell. Dillon continues to push down the back straightaway. Denny Hamlin trying to go for his 3rd win of the year. Could be the 9th win already for Toyota in the first 15 races, and be the 4th in a row for Toyota. Schneider's up to 19th. I think it's a blessing the caution came out because he was not going to get a top 20 if it stayed green to the end. He still might not now, though. We'll have to see. Christopher Bell's going to push him through the tri-oval. About pushed him into the wall. We'll see if we get another caution in this already caution-filled race. The pushes he's been getting from Christopher Bell are definitely helping. Might end up pulling away from him, though, after a little bit. I'd have to imagine. Still 9 laps to go. 18 miles. That's a long way around this racetrack. But will they get to the white flag before we get another yellow? We've had 3 overtime finishes this season. It's already the 3rd most cautions we've had in a race this season. 1 more would tie for 2nd. We tie with the Coke 600. Or sorry, no, we had 15 at the Coke 600, 16 at Richmond. My bad. Counting the stages. Bella's caught back up to Schneider. He's pushing him again pretty much all the way around the track. Schneider doesn't like being pushed in the center of the corner. We know that, but he's kind of got to deal with it now. I mean, he's had to deal with it all day, and he's barely saved it. Pretty much every time. He's so on edge when that happens. Bell to the outside. Almirola fights back to the lead. Side by side with Denny Hamlin. Almirola, though, back up high. Hamlin again to the bottom. Schneider full throttle again through 3 and 4, trying to push. And trying to get into the draft of the 38. John Hunter Nemechek with a good top 20 run. Schneider trying to get to the left rear corner panel. He's going to side draft Nemechek down through the tri-oval. Into turn 1. Lifted a tiny bit. Beats him back to the gas. He's going to clear Nemechek. Nemechek's going to give him a big push here down the back straightaway. That might be the run he needed to get around Reddick. He's going to have to go to the outside, though. Reddick occupies the bottom. Couple of rookies side by side now off of turn 4. Sidney Duncan, welcome to the stream. Schneider trying to side draft the right rear corner panel of Reddick, but Reddick pulls up the block. He's clear. 6 to go at Michigan. Nemechek with another push into 1 and 2. Trying to squeeze underneath Tyler Reddick. Down on the yellow line. Couldn't go any lower. Trying to side draft it. He just can't get around. He doesn't have the straightaway speed. Nemechek comes in and about turns Schneider right around getting into 3. Schneider into the back of Reddick now. A little chain reaction. Couldn't help his momentum. Nemechek did not push him in a good spot. A little late there. 5 laps to go. Hamlin back out in front as he continues to battle Eric Almirola, who might have the faster of the 2 race cars. Schneider cannot get around Reddick. He slides and around he goes. Saves it. Oh, locking the brakes up. We stay green. Oh, he's going to lose a ton of positions. Back to 28th. Lost 9. Actually, it was 17th. Lost 11 positions. Loses another one there to McDowell. 3 wide now in the middle of 3 and 4. Oh, what a tough break. Now he definitely wants a caution. 4 to go. He had been overdriving it at times all night on the inside. And I mean, he really isn't even hitting the apron. He's hugging that line, and it's just so far on the edge. He's got that rear bumper damage again with all these guys pushing him as well, making the car even looser. Plus the adjustments, of course, that he made during that last pit stop. He will get back around McDowell for 28th, but that might be the last position he gets the rest of this race. 3 to go. The leaders get to the white flag before we might see another caution. I think Hamlin's thankful that there wasn't a yellow when Schneider spun. He wants to control his own destiny right now rather than on another restart. Two to go. Almirola back out in front at the line. Another lead change. Almirola has been getting the high side to work. One of the few drivers. Not sure if he's on the inside or the outside right now. Caution comes out. We go to overtime, but if it comes out on the final lap of the race, if the leader can get to the white flag, the race will be over. And we're going to get there. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Eric Almirola, who is trying to win in the Motor City. Well, not in Detroit, but you get the point. Oh, Hamlin battling back and forth as they're side by side down the back straightaway going into turn 3. Will it be Hamlin? Will it be Almirola? Will it be somebody else behind them? Coming off of turn 4, Eric Almirola with the edge. Hamlin right there, checkered flag, Almirola. Eric Almirola will win his second race of the season. What a run for the number 10 team. Schneider just passed Quinn Houpt for another spot for 27th off 4. He's too far behind to catch Custer or Stenhouse. And a tough 27th place run when he was 17th with 6 to go before making an incredible save off of turn 4. Turn 2, I should say. He just about spun around, but he could have had a top 15. All things considered. 12 cautions. A restart with about 14 to go. Was the last restart of the race. We had 3 DNFs, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Joey Gase. 32 cars finished on the lead lap. And there's a look at the top 10. Almirola got a stage win, wins the race. Denny Hamlin close, but no cigar, finishes second. Kyle Busch third. Keselowski, who won stage 1, finishes fourth. Joey Logano rounds out the top 5. Eric Jones 6th, Kurt Busch 7th, Ryan Blaney 8th, Martin Truex Jr. 9th, and Jimmy Johnson rounds out the top 10. Yeah, Schneider was in 17th, battling Reddick at the time for 16th. Got underneath him and just got a little loose on the edge. A sloppy race, but maybe exciting for you guys at least. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully we have a much cleaner race when we go to Michigan next time, but we know the restarts are going to be crazy. And hopefully we have a faster car too. We banged it up, but we don't need this chassis for the next race at least. And we should get it up and repaired in time by the time we go to Chicagoland, I believe, is the next race. We'll use the Speedway chassis. Kyle Busch had the fastest lap, 38.425. Eric Almirola led the most laps today, though. 57 of the 200 laps led. Biggest mover of the race. Man, showed up for a great finish. Well, great at the front of the field, not so much for us. Sorry, I was texting my grandpa there for a second if I was quiet. And, of course, the race winner is the one telling us that we'll turn it around. Don't worry about the last race. That was a sloppy race and a deserving finish of how sloppy it was for us. 27th. I think that's our worst finish of a race we actually got to the finish of. Like, not including a DNF. I think that's our worst. But we did finish on the lead lap. We have finished way more laps down. I think the most laps down we finished was at Phoenix when we finished 6 laps down early in the season. And the next race is at Sonoma tomorrow night, 110 laps. It should be 90 because that's the actual race. I don't know why it's still 110. That's what the old configuration was, but with the newer configuration, it's a little bit longer, so it should be 90 laps. But oh well, we'll run an extra 20. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt us, or either. And I think, yeah, we're going to use the Super Speedway chassis. We'll use the Super Speedway chassis. Either way, it's going to be a mismatch penalty. So we got a while till the next Super Speedway at Daytona. We got like 10 more races. And we'll be maxed out at an 85 when we get back to Chicagoland because we'll end up having a mismatch penalty for this race. To upgrade to a 90 on the engine power, we need 1.8 million, so we need the best finish possible. Obviously, not a good finish here today. Unfortunate. And I don't think we're going to do so hot at Sonoma either without a road course chassis, but you never know. You never know. Maybe another wild card race this season coming up at Sonoma. With it being the first road course. First of 2 in the regular season and first of 3 on the season as a whole. And again, those are not the accurate point standings. The winners are accurate, but not all the stage wins are like Truex has 8 stage wins, not 5. Yeah, some of the stage wins are not accurate. Hamlin does have 3. I think Keselowski's got 2 now. Yeah, the races we DNF'd, it didn't calculate the those stage wins. So again, I'm doing the points myself from the races we DNF'd in this year. And Ty Dillon hasn't made a start. And I think that's pretty much it. These season stats aren't completely accurate either. The 2 races we DNF'd in, I believe we led 3 laps in both, so we should have 6 more laps led than what we actually have. And then we led a... No, yeah, we should have 6. So we should have 86 laps led this season. It's honestly not bad for a rookie season. Only 15 races in. 4 top 10s. All 4 of those top 10s were top 5s. 2 wins, a third, and a fifth, I believe. Oh, no. 2 wins, a second, and a fifth. That second was at Talladega. And the fifth was at Bristol. All right. Like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as usual. We'll be back at it tomorrow. NASCAR Fantasy Podcast at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we will also have the Sonoma race following that. So a double header of streaming, if you will, for tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll catch you next time.